pitch to Bryce Harper.
4-pitch walk. Harper walked for the 8th time by the Cubs. Bryce Harper, free pass again.
I mean, Cubs fans get a chance to see Bryce Harper play once a year, and they're probably thinking, wow, he's a really good walker with the steal or a wild pitch here. There you go.
Oh my goodness, another one gets away. And here comes the runner, Ben Revere to third, and he comes home. But if the ball hit Bryce, it's a dead ball. Alert baseball by Ben Revere. They're going to send him back all the way to second base.
That was exciting.
The most exciting non-play of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the presses. Bryce Harper has walked again.
Wow.
Bryce Harper is about to be walked for the 12th time in a 4-game series. Bryce Harper's on base percentage is going to be 500 before we know it. They're going to walk him again to load the bases and push the lead run to third. So now 6 walks today to Harper and 13 in the series.
He just said this is awesome. He can remember this game the rest of his life. He will. This may never happen again.
The weekend the Cubs were scared to death to pitch to Bryce Harper, but they parlayed it into a series win, and they're trying to make it a sweep.
Joe Madden totally taking Bryce Harper out of this game.
Fans behind home plate begging Bryce to swing at one of these.
And Beltre backing out, apparently thought that he had called time, that Bill Miller had given it to him, and Miller never came out from behind home plate. He stuck right there, and Keuchel threw a breaking ball for a called third strike. And Beltre and Bill Miller going at it pretty good. Ron Washington there, just to make sure it doesn't get too heated.
Adrian said, I raised my hand and called timeout. If you call it late, the umpire does not have to give you timeout. That's the other side of it, and I'm sure that's what Bill Miller was saying.
The hitter can't call a timeout himself anyway. He has to be granted timeout, like you're saying, Tom.
The umpire has to say, okay. Yeah, he called it late, and the umpire did not give him timeout.
1-1, lost his bat up into the extended netting, and it gets lodged there. How are we going to get that down, CJ?
I know I can tell you this. I'm not climbing up there to get it, and that bat is probably going to stay there for a while. I don't think we're going to have a game delay. I don't know if they make a ladder that big. And that is amazing. And this was all because of the really good changeup that Kazmir threw. Fortunately, that netting comes out just far enough to catch that thing. It's an impressive toss.
Well, we play on with that bat stuck up there. And that is new netting this season, installed at all Major League Baseball parks, to go from the backstop to the home plate side of the dugouts.
2-2 delivery on the way down to third. That's going to be a fair ball. It'll roll into foul territory and into the corner. On to second base. Ball still rolling around, thinking about 3. They got a chance all the way through, and he is out. A perfect one-hop throw, as Trey Mancini had to chase it down, tried to get 3 and ran out of his shoe in the process.
Had a flat tire, that's why he got thrown out. But take a look at the shoe, there it goes. It loses a little bit of traction. Nice tag by Peterson.
His shoe is actually coming off at this point, and there it goes. So that certainly hampered his running ability to get to third base. As you mentioned, Mancini bobbled the ball in left field, and that's when he decided to go to third. Blew out of touch.
Hit 119. Here's Colabello high and deep to left up near the catwalk, and that hit the catwalk. That will be a home run. That ball hit that catwalk, but it hit the center catwalk, and that ball is in play. If it hits the lower 2, it's a home run. It hit the third one, and now they're having a discussion about that. And this is always a point of contention here at Tropicana Field. Now John Gibbons is out. of the Blue Jays dugout. And they're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
It hit. There are 4 rings here, basically. The lower ring is 1, 2, 3. It hit the 3rd ring up. That high ring where you see the lights on that on the left side of your screen. That's the catwalk that it hit. It's in play if it comes down in fair territory.
And it's all you can get. You can see Butler has no idea where it is, and then recognizes that the ball is to his right and actually bounced off the wall and bounced away from him. Now that ball is in play, and Colabello, not taking anything for granted, hustles all the way to third base.
And they indicate that the call on the field will stand as Colabello ends up with a triple.
And a high fly ball down the left field line. That ball hits the speaker and comes down and is caught by Echeverria. Ball hit the speaker. That was connected to the B ring. And Echeverria stayed with it and made the catch.
Boy, how big of a play is that? Because we've seen stuff, hit the catwalk, come back into play, bounce around for extra base hits. And Danny Echeverria, you see the baseball right there in front of the speaker, whack, and comes off of it, and Echeverria never loses sight of it, puts it away. Wow.
And Bruce lifts one to left, pretty well hit. Ortega, though, should have room, I think, near the wall, and he made the catch.
Oh.
Or did it hit off the fence first? I think they're saying it's a grand slam. The third base umpire, Dan Bellino, said that he played the carom off the back fence, and it's a grand slam for Jay Bruce. Nice deke by Ortega, who had that ball land in his mitt somehow. But Bruce gets credit for his 7th home run. Let's watch. And a good call by Bellino. It went off the M&M sign, over the orange line. It is indeed a grand slam. And the Mets now have an 11-0 lead.
Left-hander's delivery, inside out swing, right field down the line. Not particularly deep, foul territory. Lost it. Had it lined up. Steve Pearce starting at first base, and then it disappeared on him.
I don't
Almost hit him.
If it disappeared or somebody in the stands might have called it, because he just stopped. He looked like he was all over it, had a pretty good bead right there, and then he just pulls back and lets it drop. And watch him look into the stands like,
oh, man.
Wait, you were supposed. Oh, it was you.
Oh, my gosh.
Goodness.
I may have said last year's draft, 2011. A little soft liner, and the bat goes flying right at Sogard and knocks him down after he makes the catch. I have never seen this before, where the bat winds up hitting the guy that takes the ball.
That's incredible. Good job by Sogard to focus on the baseball and make the play. Yeah, you see a lot of broken bats. You see him flying into the stands, but not too often do you see a guy out in the field get hit by it. Clipped him, sent him down.
Now, up until seeing Sogard make this play, Marty Feldman, the only guy I ever thought would make the play.
A couple years ago.
Hit hard to center field. Martin going back, still going back to the wall. Tie game.
Ball stuck.
It's stuck in the wall. And they'll place Dozier at second base.
He came inches away from hitting his first home run this year at Target Field.
Talk about an oddity. It wedged into the panels of the pad in center field.
You don't see that too often. Could have just hit another inch and bounced over the pad, but instead it stuck in the pad.
Tigers are looking at it. The Twins are looking at it. And I don't know. I thought the ball stuck in the grass beyond the wall. So it is a double for Dozier.
All the pads out there, of course, they have that divider right there.
So Turner at first, lefty looking right at him. And Soto with a high fly ball, deep left center. Inciarte checking his surroundings, and the ball is out of his glove into the glove of Duvall for the out, and Turner has to scream back to first to avoid the double play.
If that hit the wall,
This is going to be weird, and I don't know what they're going to do. If that short hopped into Inciarte's glove, then we got a problem here, and I don't know where you put the runners.
All right, so we're getting word from the official score. I saw the umpire, Manny Gonzalez, kind of take his fingers and point them east-west. What they're saying is that Soto's going to be credited with a single, but he passed Turner on the base paths, and he's going to be called out as a result. And so Turner is back at first base because Soto passed him on the base paths. So it wasn't a catch. Right there, he's past him.
It was going to take a lot of offense to make up for the pitching.
Muncy with a high fly ball to center. Almora's back. Out of room. There it goes. Muncy to center field. And the Dodgers on the board once again with the long ball.
Popped high in the air. Playable. Hosmer still coming as Hosmer. It's over his head. Astros win.
Way.
Hosmer kept looking for help, and by the time the ball dropped, the Astros won on a 20-foot pop-up that lands in their territory.
I don't even know what to say. I cannot believe that just happened. Help or no help, that play's got to be made. High pop-up, 78-degree launch angle on that one. That's just a full head of steam from Eric Hosmer overrunning that. He's looking for help, but the catcher, A.J. Ellis, was nowhere to be found. He never left his spot behind home plate. He stood there in anticipation of Eric Hosmer making that play.
Ellis' first reaction was to point to Hosmer, and Fisher was easily across second.
And it's lifted into left, going to be caught by Jay. How about that? You talk about lifting. That's right out of a cricket match.
This ball bounces. He hit it off the bounce.
I thought it might have bounced, and they just showed us a side replay, and that bounced in front of home plate.
How in the world?
Well, that's the first out. You see a little bit of everything.
Grounded to first. Moreland goes to second one. I don't know what Holiday was doing. Ellsbury is safe at first. Holiday's going to second, but he's out on the force. I guess Holiday thought that he was in a rundown, but Moreland did not step on first. He threw to second, so he's out on the force.
Well, he's definitely out, but how do you rule this? I mean, you can't assume a double play, I guess.
Well, I mean, I think he interfered with the first baseman making the catch.
He did.
I mean, he's running back to first, and he's a runner that doesn't exist anymore. He's been erased. This is going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Unless it, I don't get
he
what,
was out at second. There's no reason for him to be running back to first.
Well, he's thinking that Moreland stepped on the bag, so he's going to try to get a rundown or get back to the base, but obviously he's out right there. Now he's in the way of Moreland trying to make the play. It hits Ellsbury.
No, Farrell's got a beef. I believe that Moreland makes that play if he doesn't have two runners right there. One that didn't belong there. Let's see what they have.
They're going to talk to John Farrell because they're not making any deliberate motion with a call.
I would think if they were going to call it a double play, they would have taken the headset off and pumped their fist.
Yep.
I think he said I'm protesting. I really believe the Yankees catch a break here. I think it was obvious interference by Holiday.
Caleb Joseph, before the game, got involved in some of this. He signed a fake autograph, congratulated the fans, did his Cal Ripken impersonation, and kept going all the way out to center field.
There you go.
Despite the seriousness, obviously, of why this game's being played as it is in an empty ballpark, there has been some smiles here with some of the players. They come off, first baseman in particular, inside, throwing the ball into the stands as they normally would to fans. Adam Jones came out and bowed to the people out in the bullpen area.